LTI when this one specific pastor said that kids with spiritual gifts need to be rebuked. How did that make you feel?
Well,
hello Green family, and welcome back to Orange's YPD YouTube channel. First of all, compliments of the new year. As you all know that one of the objectives of our channel is not only to have fun but to learn. That is why we have a new segment called Conversations with YPDeers, where we interview YPDeers and we basically talk about the challenges that we face within and outside of the church. And today is our very first episode, and it is called Can Christianity Coexist with African Spirituality? And today we have
Kakumanzini. My name is Shaniqua Vries, aged 19, and I stay in Bethlehem. I'm a spiritual child. Yes, and I'm a YPDeers from AME Trinity in Kwakwa.
under area
6.
So can you just give us a brief summary of who you are outside of your spirituality?
Shaniqua is a well-behaved child, I would say, outside my spirituality, and I'm a model.
Okay, yes.
I love fashion, I love cooking, baking, and well, I love experiencing and I love traveling a lot. The outside life of me is learning everything, like learning a new thing every day.
Keen on learning new things
every day.
All right.
So yeah, and that's
who you are. Okay. And then when did you realize that you have a spiritual gift? Because most of the times people who are spiritually gifted, they always get like signs, maybe it's dreaming or vision. So for you, when did you realize that you were actually gifted?
Well, when I was growing up, I grew up with the gift from my grandmother, unnoticingly that I had a gift.
Well, so you're not aware?
Yes, I wasn't aware that I had a gift. And then I started having visions around grade 6, but ignored them because I always tell my mom that I dreamt of this. I saw myself in this place, I saw myself in this cloth, I saw myself in this and that. And then in 2020, I think, and I was ill but not knowing what's wrong with you. And then I went to the hospital. They said there's nothing that they can recognize from myself. And then I went to the private doctor, and then exactly the same thing. Around September 2020, I was quarantined for 21 days thinking that I might have COVID or something, not knowing that it's not COVID. Because when I went to the doctor, they would say it's not COVID, you don't have any flu signs.
You okay?
Yes.
But when you were sick at that time.
Exactly. And then, but the doctor kept insisting, after my 21 days, they kept insisting that I should quarantine myself so that I can heal better, but I kept getting worse. And then early 2021, I was still in my spirituality. I started having that asthma attack, panic attacks, thinking that it's panic attacks, asthma attacks. But then still when I get to the doctor, they'll say it's nothing.
It's nothing. They don't see anything wrong with you.
And then the year went by, but still I kept on dreaming. I kept on seeing beads on myself. I kept on going to churches, apostolic churches. But it didn't come to me that you might have a calling. Yes. And then in the year 2021, we had someone know my mom. And then the guy was saying, I would say
yes.
We thought that maybe we go chata or
something.
Maybe we're gonna get a wedding, you see. And then he was like, yes, and then when time goes on, they don't understand
why is it that.
And then I didn't take him to consider it, but he kept coming, and every time he comes, he would say, and then I'm gonna be the change of the family, that the family gonna be surprised. I'm like, hey, maybe I'm gonna be the first to come with the white wedding. And
Yeah, didn't
and
think
then,
anything
yes,
about a calling.
Exactly. And then the time come, early 2022 last year.
Yeah.
I had a panic attack at school. I wouldn't say it's a panic attack, I would say it's a spiritual attack.
But then people thought it was a panic attack.
Because Lina, at first I thought, hey, maybe I got there, my panic attacks come back.
Mm.
And then my life sciences teacher called my parents, telling them that I collapsed at school. And then it kept on going until February. And then this time I was at school. And then it happened again after break. I collapsed for almost 3 hours with no breath, with no anything. They took me to hospital. And then it happened like every day. It was an everyday
continuously
thing. Yes. And then every time we get to hospital, they will say, we open the file, but there's nothing
wrong with you.
Yes, we have to discharge you because there's nothing we see.
You okay?
Yes. And then they gave me antidepressant, thinking that I'm depressed or something. And then I was And then after that, I got another panic attack, but I was at my mom's place, my other mom's place. And then that time, it was when I saw the vision of I have to go this place. And then as soon as possible. And then I woke up from that vision. And then my mom was like, it seems like unza panic attack. And then banana at home, they even thought it is an asthma attack. And then when I woke up, I told my mom, we have to get to this place and this place. Bear in mind, we don't know the place. We don't know.
So you were just describing it, or you guys.
And then I said to them, the person I came going to the vision said, if they would show me where to go.
Oh, the way.
They would be my GPS. And then, believe me when I say, but you live on a little GPS of their own. And then we went for a drive. And then the place, I can say the place, but it's around Kestel, somewhere in the mountains. We went there. And then when
so you were directing them
throughout. Yes, I was directing them throughout this. Let's go there. Bear in mind that I was still unconscious of the Badimus. I was in Shaniqua at the time.
Yes.
You know. And then when I got there, I found the guy that I call and then I found him there. And then he said to me, I've been waiting for you. And then you see, meaning that that's why I'm being called Mamitsi. And then there, and then bank director, you should do this with the so. And then when I came out, that's when that was my short-term spiritual name for the initiation. And then everything happened fast. Fast forward, I went to initiate, but every time I would go to Mitsi instead of being initiated more
like the usual ones. Because you're a child of
Mitsi. Every time I get a bead, every time I see something, I would have to report only thing, and then
so you go to
and then I would return home with the beads somehow.
So you also don't know how you
some of the beats here. I don't know. Just like that's why I did and that's why I deleted some of them, and then some of them I get them from my copel. Yes. And then as time went on, my initiation was about to be processed and everything. The time June, the time, no, it's May, not June, May. Yeah. And then I was instructed that since I'm in matric, and then since I'm and everything, in a very fast process. And then I had to do everything, like I'm making pressure, school, matric, pressure, and it was a lot. Yes, I ended up losing myself. Maybe I shouldn't have accepted the gift, but if I didn't do
you're gonna suffer.
Exactly. So, and I've suffered a long time. This is why I have a gift. Maybe if Nick accepted in time, it wouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
So that's how you, in essence, that's how you realize that you had a calling. And then we all know how it's always challenging for people who are spiritually gifted before they get to that point. So now, what were the challenges that you experienced and even that you encounter now as a gifted person?
The challenges were losing friends, losing loved ones, and being bad-mouthed by people. Well, in my class, I was always harassed and everything. And then they would mock, they would make fun of me.
And what exactly would they say?
They would say, who in those such things. And then they would make fun of how the spiritual people react. Oh, yeah, you see.
So they would imitate what you do.
Yes. And then that wouldn't sit well with me. And then I told my mom that I wanna do the homeschooling from June. And then my mom was like, no, you're gonna go to school. There's no one.
Shouldn't be embarrassed.
There's no one that's gonna determine who you are. You are your true self-reflection. Learning that everything is within you, not within what everybody thinks.
Yes. And then the people who decided to like remove themselves away from you, what were the reasons? Did they tell you why? Or you just saw people removing themselves away from you?
Well, they were becoming moody, and then some of them would say, Shaniqua since and then you wouldn't see the changes within yourself, that I didn't change. I'm still the same person I was before. And then maybe I tell myself that maybe they're scared of me. They're scared of what other sangomas are. And then you see. And then fast forward to my matric farewell. Well, I had to beg and ask Badimu for them to allow me to have my matric farewell, because that was...
they didn't want you to go to attend the event.
Not saying that, but they were thinking that since it's a closed occasion, maybe I might have, you see, the spiritual attacks. Maybe they might visit me.
So they were trying to protect you.
Yes. From even not saying in a bad way, but you know that we sense a lot of spirits in the
Yes.
Yes. And then I went to my matric farewell. It was fun. Yeah, it was fun.
So nothing happened. You didn't have a spiritual...
Well, because I begged and asked them that I want to have that. It's the special moment of my life.
So they understood.
To go. Yes. And then I had to even ask for the dress to be like... If
the way it was.
Yes. If like they wouldn't allow me to have a revealing dress that I planned to have before I had spiritual. Yes.
So you had... There was a lot of changes that you also had to do in your life.
Then I had to accept and start feeling comfortable in everything that I wear, my beads, everything.
Yes. And how was that for you? Like, are you now used to the staring, and do people come and approach you and ask you questions, or?
They do. And then like people say, oh, since when Olengaka? You see, oh, since the Olemka, and then you went like this. Oh, Badimu, you see, those such comments.
And how do they make you feel?
Some made me feel like you're judging of what you see, but you don't know the journey that I went through.
Exactly.
Because people tend to say bad things about Sangomas while they don't know the bad things, the things they've experienced.
Yes.
You should ask first of all, how was your journey before judging the person?
Yeah.
You see,
because you encounter a lot of challenges throughout that journey.
I did.
You know, people always say like people who are spiritually gifted, it's like there's a nice side about it, because you get to have vision, so you can somehow predict the future, so you can prevent things from happening to you. What is it that you enjoy the most about having a calling?
Well, what I enjoyed the most and what I still enjoy is making people feel okay with what they were burdened about. And then if a person asked me a help or something, if they were able to get a help from
you,
me, yes, it would be a joyous to me that at least
So that's the most thing you enjoy,
and
helping people heal,
and
basically.
I enjoy my ceremonies and attending everything, spiritual ceremonies around my Bandeya.
Yeah.
Yes, and everything. Above all, I love working for them and being theirs. Yeah, above all, I love being Gokmanzin. I love Mamating that I am. I love Mamating that I am.
That is who you are.
Yes. And I love Mama Ting more than I love Shaniqua. I love Mama Ting more than I love Shaniqua because the new person in me made me realize a lot of things that I wasn't aware of. So like you got to learn,
you've grown spiritually,
yes, and you got to understand what you didn't understand. And I myself, I didn't understand spirituality until I was in the underground gang.
So only now you understand it.
Yes.
That then leads to my next question. Do you believe that our church accommodates people who are spiritually gifted?
Yes. And I highly believe that AME is it's a church for double barrel, as I would call that. And it accommodates. But when I was in LTI, I saw something a bit unusual. And I saw that most of our pastors, they don't feel comfortable with that. And majority of our pastors, they feel comfortable in that. And I would say people who don't understand the journey of the spirituality, they won't feel the pain. And
yeah.
See? So if I don't expect you
to understand. Hence, it's easier for them to judge.
Yes. So I would say, if only a spiritual gifted child and you want to attend AME and you want to be a YPDeer, then go on. Because only one more and thinking that since no, they won't. Because I've experienced and I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of being the Gokmanzini that attends church.
Yes. So do you believe that Christianity and African spirituality can coexist?
Yes,
definitely.
Mudimu because Mudimu is Mudimu above all.
Yes.
Before we became here, and we survived through God and ancestors. Because if you Mudimu and we don't just say Badimu, we say Mudimu before Badimu.
Before Badimu, yes. We just, it's a part of like acknowledging them.
Yes.
Yes, it's not worshipping them because we know what Mudimu can.
Exactly.
All right. And then what do you have to say to people who believe that ancestors are demonic?
Well, like I said, if you feel like they are demonic, it's because you haven't got help from them and because you haven't understand. And what I get about the people that they're fake. Most people that don't believe that they're fake. Because the very same people, they can go to graveyards and say, oh, but you don't believe that
It doesn't make sense.
Because
yes,
you can't say
they're demonic.
Yes. And say but you say demon because but you don't understand the guidance you get from them is from Badim, with the whole clan of Badim. Yes.
So that's your opinion on that. And then on Wena as Shaniqua, are you comfortable within my YPD Ama?
Yes, I am, but sometimes it gets, well, I'm a self-centered person. I would say I would test waters before I drink.
Yeah.
So I would stay around and feel if they're uncomfortable around me, then I would leave. I wouldn't force the situation and I wouldn't force to be fitted in. So if it's a fit in, I don't force.
You just,
yes. If I get pushed, I push myself back. Because somehow there are some YPDeers that doesn't feel well about being around spiritual people. But I want them to learn that as a YPDeer, you have to learn that we are equal. There's no person erring umuntu nomfito or ubite umfito, we are equal, we are all equal. Re bana ba Modimo le badimo
kaofela. Yes. And then, do you believe that we are taught enough about African spirituality?
Well, I don't.
What do you think can be done about that? As my YPD within the church,
I would ask that every time we host an event, we have a spiritual talk about that.
Yeah.
And maybe teach others that don't look another person that have a spiritual calling. And besides we should have a drama that takes place in church, or at a convention, like YPD area meetings or whatever. We should have the plays, dramas that promotes badimo, that makes bana ba badimo ba feel comfortable around church and around YPDs. So if there are more of talks, there are more of teachings, and there are more of acts in church, if we would let them express themselves, yes,
they'll be more comfortable.
Yes. And I would say to YPDs, have spare time to have at least 10 minutes or 15 minutes of a play, a talk, instead of be well educated about anything.
Because basically that's the aim of events, is for us to learn as the YPD. Yeah, so that is very important. And any advice you would like to give a young spiritual person that's in a Christian church?
Well, don't give up and learn to be comfortable around where you are, and learn to accept yourself.
Remember after Tantwania LTI, when this one specific pastor said that kids with spiritual gifts need to be rebuked. How did that make you feel?
Well, it hit at home. It made me feel like we're not accepted. And I would say lack of teachings around churches. That's why
that's
pastors,
the problem.
Yes, that's why pastors believe that learners and YPDs with spirituality are not allowed in church. And I would say moruti ha se modimo. Aka se decide hore bana ba nang le moya ba sa kana kerekeng ya hae, or ba ska ba tswe YPD, ba tswe AME and like. But I would say has nix, and has to experience the journey of Bali Badimo. I would give to YPDs Bali moyeng ke hore ikamohele, and kore love the self, kore e rate wena, and mostly respect badimo le modimo. Ska hoya ka motho hore yo a ka mo from YPD with so someone from YPD with so
then so ya ka
exactly instinct ya how you jwetsa eng. If you feel comfortable around going to church, saying I go force the hore o kerekeng or something, no. But I enjoy being an AME, and I am a proud YPD spiritual gifted child.
Yes, this is what we love to hear, guys. I learned a few things from this conversation, so I hope you guys that are also watching have learned a few things. And in closing, do you have anything else to add on?
Well, I don't have anything, but I would say be proud, be brave, and be bold. Stand up, head up, and say, Kiwana Badimo, Modimo.
She is the new worship director of the Extraordinary Area 6. Yes. So yeah, we're going to be spiritually lifted, and that's what it should be about. I think we have come to the end of our first episode of Conversations with YPDeers. I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and tell us what you have learned on this conversation. And you can also ask us questions, and we will definitely answer. We will see you guys on the next episode.
And guys, I've entered Miss Teen South Africa proudly, standing and representing Free State. And I would like you to support me and vote where it's necessary for you to vote. And I'm a semi-finalist.
Yes.
Guys, do the
Representing the big O.
Yes.
Batum, vote.
Do the voting.
Vote.
And
I will write all her details on the description box where you guys can vote, and if the details, I leave everything there. So please vote for Miss South Africa. Miss South Africa. Bye.